Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to Madden 18 on EA Sports. Fasten your seatbelts for one of the great divisional rivalries in the NFL. This is the first of 2 games between these teams this year, and you know it's going to be entertaining. It's the Broncos going up against the Chargers. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the StubHub Center, 20 miles south of downtown L.A. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers. Hi, everybody. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, Garoppolo looks to throw. They come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You've got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play.
You don't know no better. Come on, baby, let's go. All right, here we go. Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Blue 90.
Now a carry, it's C.J. Anderson. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Double tight. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Watch it, Leopard.
The drive will start with Connor. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Now it's Connor. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Go, run. 3 down.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down. Play clock winding down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Schaefer under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Watch him now, Barney. Now let's go. Green, Detroit. All right, now, lucky 56.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Schaefer flushed out right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Trust me, Brandon, I'm not about to try and take your job. I can't do what you do. But that wasn't just 3 and out. That felt like 3 and backwards.
Well, that's exactly what it was. You can have my job whenever you want it. The drive that you're looking for, though, probably going forward. Bad start to the ball game.
Yeah, not the way to get things going.
And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14.
All right, here we go. Boom! Gone!
And he motions the wide receiver.
Switch!
They're going to try and throw. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to send this one deep right. That's caught inside the 20. A big gain that time for the Chargers. 39 yards.
And they pick up the first down on a 4th down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stopped them on 3rd down or if they just didn't protect the sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
No. Check. Patriots!
Time running out here on the play clock. Looking to throw. Schaefer. Henry's got it. Out on the left side. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
All right, here we go. Over!
To throw on 2nd down. Schaefer. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A great effort there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Chargers have taken a first-quarter lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. They go play action here on 1st down. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here we go now, Barney.
Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, That's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. And they're definitely showing blitz here.
Watch the left. It's just me and you. Gun, 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 blue 90. Check.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass.
Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. Now let's go. Play 56.
On third and long, it's Garoppolo. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. We documented it last week. They played so well defensively. 4 interceptions. Tried to get their hands on another one there.
And when you've had 4 the previous week, you are just itching for more the very next week. And there was a great opportunity. It went by the wayside, but let's not underscore what's going on with this defensive unit. They are around the ball every time it's being put in the air.
So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. On first down, Schaefer going down the middle, and it's complete. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Gun.
Throwing on first down, Schaefer. His throw caught at about the 5. Touchdown, L.A. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down at the 28. And Denver getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Now Garoppolo throwing on second. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play,
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give him 30 yards there.
That has to be frustrating for defenders. Third down, they take a shot from way downfield. There is good coverage, yet they still come down with the football and pick up a big gain.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
39, 56.
On play action, now Garoppolo. And this is taking him one-handed. What a catch. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of it.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Austin Safarian-Jenkins. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. And that one makes it 14-7. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So out come the Chargers. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling.
And now look at him go. The 40. The 20, 10, and all the way in for a Charger touchdown. A big play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Chargers get the quick strike touchdown. He's showing the different ways he can hit you in this first quarter. 1 rushing, 1 receiving touchdown.
He's showing us he's not just a stereotype, isn't he? Not just a guy who carries the ball out of the backfield, can get out into space, make plays with his hands downfield. That's a pretty good combination right there.
Defensively, you'd prefer to be going against the stereotype, wouldn't you?
At least you know where he is, right? That gives you a chance to get more people to him and get him on the ground.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Even. 4 down. Here we go. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. And they've got it here with a first down.
Two times. Hey, watch everybody. Blue 90. Blue 90.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Play action. Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 20. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Check three. Back 99 Philly, here we go. Here we go, check him out.
Looking to throw on second down. Schaefer nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Perry coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on second down.
Detroit!
The wide receiver moving to a new spot.
Switch gears. Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Throwing on third and long. Schaefer, and he's going to go down again. Zach Brown in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, there's your first ROI, right? Return on investment of their first-round pick. His first NFL sack, I know they want him to be an impact player right out of the gate.
A lot of pressure to put on a young man, but I think you agree he has the ability to deliver on it.
And he just did. Probably the first of many sacks in a long career.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking, but you've got to help them get some
He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
They'll run for it with Anderson, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. C.J. Anderson, his second touchdown on the season, and the Broncos draw a bit closer.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Ooh, with a juke. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, Their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. All right, here we go. Detroit! Detroit! We got three, fellas. We got three.
To throw on second down. Schaefer. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. A good pickup there, a 22. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Green, 39. Over.
Back to throw. Schaefer. And this is caught at the 20. A very solid gain of 27. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Now let's go. Gun. Watch it now, Barney. Watch it now, Barney. Now, lucky 56. All right, here we go. Lucky 56.
Here's the backup now, the former Badger, Melvin Gordon. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Lucky 56. Fresno.
In motion left goes a tight end. On second down, they'll run with Gordon. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Detroit! Hurry up!
Here's Connor. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. He's got the hat trick, 3 touchdowns now.
Did you throw yours? Did you throw yours out
I didn't have mine. You've got yours. You've got one of those Abe Lincoln hats.
Yeah, and that stovepipe is going right out there for a nose for the end zone. 3rd time today. I think he deserves a tip of the cap.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Garoppolo, a dump off to Anderson. And all the way home for a Broncos score. C.J. Anderson, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. McManus now for the extra point. He's got it, and they're back within a touchdown at 28-21. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Double tight. Set. 319. 319. No. Check. Patriot. Black 99 Philly. Here we go. Set.
They start with a give to counter. Now the ball comes loose. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25. The Broncos on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. A reminder with halftime approaching, when we get there, we'll ship you off to Orlando. Larry Ridley will have first half highlights and analysis.
I hope he's iced down his throat because he's got a lot to get through because we've had no shortage of points scored in the first half.
It has been a fun track meet. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. You might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So that'll move them up 5, make the kick a little easier.
Rarely do you get kickers that don't want some yardage closer to the post, right? It's rare, but in this case, he'll definitely take them.
And McManus able to put it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board, but the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if, while the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position. I know the special teams coach will not permit himself a smile here, but inside, he's glowing. This is what he practices for. This is what he schemes. This is what he watches tape to put himself and his team in a position to score points. An absolute dream return.
They find some open field here. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Two times. Here we go now. Leopard. Alert flare. Detroit. Watch him now, Barney. Undercrunch.
On 3rd down. That's Connor. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Anthony Lynn says now's the time. His guy's going on 4th down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. All right, here we go. Green 39, back 99 Philly, here we go. Gun.
On 4th down, Schaefer. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They start the drive with Anderson. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath.
Okay, Brandon.
You folks don't know what you're missing. You're missing Larry Ridley. Ready to get back, though, to this Week 2 matchup. Let's get to it. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. It's Connor as they stay on the ground, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Reset, cut right. Now let's go. Blue landed.
Off play action. Schaefer. And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Cut his left. Cut his left. Four down. Here we go. Lucky 56. 319. Lucky 56. 319. You got tight. You got tight right there.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. Throw left side, complete to Kupp. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A big play there. His First touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Broncos turn that interception into a touchdown. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo.
Let's go. Get loud. I want to hear you.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. They give him a gain of 37.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
It's his running back, Melvin Gordon. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Throwing again. Schaefer throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Chargers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7.
Green, back 99 Philly. Here we go.
From the gun, Schaefer. And he's in for a Charger touchdown.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. This one fielded at the 5. And Denver getting set to take the field. Play fake. Garoppolo. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long?
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3
Back near his goal line. Here's Garoppolo. Oh, now backing up, and he's out of the end zone. The referee was right there to call it, and that is a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender.
Oh.
To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. He'll return it from the 6. And some room to work. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. The Chargers getting set to go. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does. And we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Tiny's Ringo. Tiny's on the Ringo. Tiny's
Now
on
let's
the Ringo.
go. 3-19. Go. All right, now look at 56.
From the 4, it's 2nd and goal. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Watch it now, Barney.
From the gun on 3rd down, Schaefer. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Hunter Henry, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead.
Brandon, is there any way you and I can join this quarterback in the zone he's in? He's absolutely feeling it. Touchdown after touchdown, throwing the ball.
Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 10th carry now for Anderson. Always got some breathing room. C.J. Anderson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. C.J. Anderson, his third touchdown. Touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Broncos get a bit closer. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and...
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Joshua Perry coming in from that outside linebacker spot to bury him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Looking to throw on second down. Schaefer. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's able to get up here to the 26. The Chargers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Operating from the gun. Schaefer going right side here, and that's complete. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And he slides to avoid the hit. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11.
Here we go now.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he is knocked down from the side, right near midfield. 23 yards on the play.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henderson. And he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Watch 18. Watch 18. Watch the run. Watch the
Here
run.
we go now.
Check your hot read.
Garoppolo on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, he finds Henderson, complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Yeah, the defense definitely showing blitz here. Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Target.
And yet again, it's Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
To throw is Garoppolo. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
He's going to fire one deep over them. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be taken down deep into Bronco territory. And give him a gain of 37. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And he's got it. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is Are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
Let's go. 3-19.
Four down.
3-19.
They go play action here on first down. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. And give him a gain of 37.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Who's got 84? Check 84.
Detroit. Blue 90.
Single receiver.
Blue 90.
Island over there. Single receiver.
On first down, Garoppolo. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Well, there's your first ROI, right? Return on investment of their first-round pick. His first NFL sack, I know they want him to be an impact player right out of the gate.
A lot of pressure to put on a young man, but I think you agree he has the ability to deliver on it.
And he just did. Probably the first of many sacks in a long career.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep them.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
He's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. Again, it's Connor. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
On 3rd down, Schaefer. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And the wideout in motion. On 4th down, Schaefer flush to his right.
Under 10.
Throwing right, and that's complete. They got 29 yards there, and it'll be a Los Angeles first down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Watch tight end. Now let's go. All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Check.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Over. All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st and 10, Schaefer. His throw incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Left. Watch left.
All right, here we go.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Schaefer. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Flashed the stick skills on that run, but then stopped shy of the 35. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Hey. We got three. 3 down.
All right, here we go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Schaefer. Throw right side, complete to Williams. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Looking to throw. Schaefer. Through an opening, and there he goes. Past the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Denver. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of 6 there on 1st. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is that now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, here we go. Over.
Watch the curl.
From the gun, Schaefer. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Escaping the pressure right. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Tight on the left. Move.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Garoppolo to try again on second down. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that type of a number. Fantastic job, fantastic performance, and he's going to have to ice up his arm afterwards, too.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Garoppolo to throw on second down. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. And the pressure gets to him again. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. He'll field this at the 5. That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10.
You.
Now let's go. All right, now, look at 56. Look.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down.
Strong left.
Hurry up, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. Schaefer. And this one is incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Looking to throw. Schaefer. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Denzel Perryman in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They've been brilliant, perfect on 4th down so far. 3 for 3, and they're going to try again here.
Watch it 56. Lucky 56.
Hey, watch 28.
Back to throw. Schaefer. And a most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. And Denver getting set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Watkins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and 1. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. And did he just clock that? Looked like he tried to stop the clock, but the clock wasn't even moving. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz.
Green, 39.
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And this is Moncrief for the catch. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football and picked up by the Chargers. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Strong left. Strong left.
All right, here we go. Let's get it out, Philly. Here we go.
Following the fumble recovery, Schaefer trying to lay one up deep. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. And this will likely be the last play and wrap things up.
Now let's go.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Schaefer. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense. it.